All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host,
Brad Sloan, back in the house again, baby.
back in the house. So just a few,
250s. It's been a great week, man. We're back to the 250s grind. Like
yeah,
I'm loving
250s
it, man.
grind.
Like these are all the Cordoba's the best. That's just a great tournament. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the matches in Cordoba have been phenomenal, but just a few housekeeping things. So our podcast is up on Spotify now, so you could find us on Spotify. We'll continue posting the links on Twitter. We're going to continue trying to get up on more platforms, so just trying to expand a little bit. But we're on YouTube and Spotify right now, so if you want to check us out there, that's great. And I mean, these tournaments have been a lot of fun, to be honest. I mean, Cordoba has been your favorite. It's probably been my favorite too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one day where all four of the singles matches had 70-plus-minute first sets.
I know. It's insane.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Are you there? All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, no, Cordoba has been phenomenal. You had a comment before there was like a pause there.
No, I mean just 70-minute first sets are amazing. Like there's nothing more awesome than like just watching these 70-minute grinds. Like there's been like several 3-hour matches like for 3 sets. It's just great. Like
yeah. Just I mean, next week I feel like there are going to be some more guys that join the Golden Swing, like top guys that join the Golden Swings. But this week is just like pure dirt ballers, right? Just like people who feel like they
and
can
what's
gain
so
some
cool
points.
about it is that like all these guys, they need the points.
They do.
Like all these guys
matches.
are dirt ballers. Like it's these next like 4 months of their time to shine. They all need the points. It feels like almost every guy at that tournament that tournament specifically is really grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Like really grinding, really. I'm not saying the guys ever don't try, but like that tournament feels like those guys are really going at it like at a different level in terms of the effort level.
Because these are points that they feel like they won't be able to get when all the stars are there.
Yeah, well, because it's actually it's not a strong field, right? Like
no, it's
a field of like borderline ATP guys, and all of them are, they all need these points because they're all like that all those guys are like clay court specialists.
Mm-hmm.
So
right,
and because of that, like they're all grinding matchups because every guy in that, like they all have the same playing style.
I know. Like I think tomorrow we got Delian versus Cerundolo. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's going to be a war.
Yeah.
It's just, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll obviously preview the quarterfinals later on in our pod, but let's get into our bets from the week.
Here, man, you go first since you had some more. I think you had
first.
Yeah.
Make it bigger here. So, all right. So,
there you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're I made some edits to the Twitter, so we are now sharing our Google Doc that we have here. So it's very important to us that we exhibit pure transparency. We're not guys that just are gonna rub it in your face when we, win a ton of bets. We're also gonna post our painful losses. And I think that's very important as a betting service here, or kind of like, giving some betting advice.
Yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Like it's absolutely crucial in there. Yeah, I think it's absolutely crucial that we do this. And so I'm it's Manny's been honestly managing most of the technical side of this, and this is a great addition. So good job, Manny.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna, we have so many bets for this week. It's been 5 days of matches from three 250s this week. So we're gonna kind of break it up into segments. We're gonna go over best bets, smartest bets. We're kind of breaking those up because smartest bets don't necessarily have to cash. It's kind of bets that we think that we're good, that maybe we got unlucky, and then we're going to go over dumbest bets, most painful bets. I had a lot of pain this week, so we'll go into that, and kind of bets that we regretted not making. So I would say my best bet this week was probably one of two: Wu versus Shapovalov, and Fields versus Bautista Agut. I mean those were two money line hits that I had this week at plus money. Fields was at plus 285, and Wu was at plus 205. So I thought that those were great bets. So my rationale for Fields was that, I mean, RBA, he was coming off a bye, so he wasn't used to those conditions in Montpellier. He hasn't been that good. I mean, he did make the 4th round of the Australian Open, but to lose a set to Murray there when Murray was coming off those 2 crazy 5-setters. I mean, I wasn't really confident in his form. And also he prefers kind of slower hard courts, I would say, where he has more time to kind of.
Well, he's got to wind up, right? He's got to, he's not a short stroke player.
Right. And he has to develop the points. Plus Fields has a big game. Like, he has a fast court game, and then he also had the home crowd there. So, I mean, I played the 2 ways. I played plus 4.5 at 145. I thought that was a great bet. And then I just sprinkled some on the money line as well, and that ended up cashing. So
yeah, so for me, that's one of my biggest. That's probably one of my biggest regrets is not hitting the money line on Fields here. I had the plus 4 at like minus 105.
Yeah.
I wish I would have hit the money line as well, because I definitely felt better than plus 285 about it, but I thought the plus 4 was better. Because I thought there was and I didn't want to bet. I guess I didn't want to bet both of them, but it was kind of I do that sometimes, and it's kind of a regret from that. Probably I should have hit it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of Fields' upside?
Yeah. I mean, I like Fields. He's 18, right? He's 18. He's making a run. In an ATP 250. He's beaten 2 top 30 guys this week. Right? He beat Agut, and who did he beat the first round? I know I bet him twice, and he's won both. I'm 2-0 betting him this week. I can't remember who I bet him. Oh, Gasquet. Gasquet's not a
Gasquet, right? And I actually bet Gasquet there minus 2.5, so that wasn't a great bet, but
yeah, I had Fields there plus the games, but I mean he's got a lot of talent. Yeah, we'll see. And
I was impressed with his composure against Gasquet. I thought.
I was impressed with his composure against Agut too. Like I thought, I feel like mentally he seems pretty good.
Well, and against Gasquet was fighting back. He saved a bunch of break points, and I thought that's kind of where he would turn the match. And Fields stayed strong and closed that out in 2. So that was good. That was impressive performance. And then Wu versus Shapovalov. So I don't know. This might be a consistent trend for me kind of going forward this year. Bet against Shapovalov in the first match of any tournament, because he's just so erratic. And if he's not
I have a different take here. I like anytime somebody getting more than 2 games against Shapovalov, really considering betting them. Not anybody, right? But Wu is good enough player for me in my mind that I thought the games mattered here. I wasn't surprised Wu won the match, but I thought the games were important here because again, Shapo is so erratic. I would have been very surprised if Wu didn't take a set. In my mind, the line for Wu to take a set should have been minus 250 or something insane. Because I just didn't see I didn't see this match going. I wasn't sure if he was going to beat Shapovalov outright. But I thought that Shapo's just so erratic.
Mm-hmm.
But erratic can be good, right? We've talked about this several times in the podcast. He has times when he plays great points and great strings.
But Wu has been playing a lot, right? So I think that also, and in these similar conditions, he played a challenger in Cleveland last week. He made the final, lost to Kovacevic, but he played 4 matches, and he got reps in and stuff. And Shapovalov, this is his first match since the Australian Open. So to be, a plus 205 underdog, I kind of feel like that's a no-brainer that you kind of have to sprinkle a little bit on, But you played him on the money line as well, right?
No, I played him just the 3.5. One of the things it's a semi-regret there. I thought the 3.5 was by far the better bet there.
Yeah.
Because I really like I think I posted on my Twitter as like my bet of the day. Like I didn't see this. I really didn't see this going like as one-way traffic for Shapo.
Yeah.
I honestly I probably should hit the money line too, because like I thought this should have been like a plus 130 or something, maybe. I thought Shapo should have been a favorite, but a slight favorite. Like not yeah.
Yeah, not plus 205.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Shapo's still getting a lot of love. I mean, which I get because like he sometimes shows up and plays great matches against like good guys, like top 30 guys, but he's just not it's weird because it feels like he's not consistent against like the lower competition, right? Or at least again, like he's not consistent like throughout the full match for sure. I mean, he lost it to Rinky already this year. Like, I feel like there's
Well, like, I mean, this is just an example, but like I was in Washington last year, and I saw Shapo play his first match against JJ Wolf when JJ Wolf wasn't the established top 70 player he is now, and he lost in straight sets. So, and that was Shapo's first match. He had to buy into the event. Wolf already had a match coming in, and in those spots, I feel like, it's probably smart to bet against him. I mean, I don't know, but I
didn't think this line was ever. Yeah, I agree. I think in this case for sure, especially because it was a layoff, right? Yeah.
Right. So those were probably my 2 smartest bets. Is there anything? How about you?
So I think my smartest bet actually was my futures bets are looking really good.
Okay.
So I have Tiafoe. I have Tiafoe at 4.5 to 1 to win Dallas. Okay. I have which I really like at this point of looking at how the draw is going. Fritz had kind of a tough time with Sock tonight.
Today.
I didn't watch the match, but it's 6-4. Nobody else in that draw looks like a threat. I mean, the next biggest threat is the other guy I put a bet on at 12 to 1, which is Wolf.
Well, and I think Wolf is playing Tiafoe tomorrow afternoon.
He is, and I'm like, I love that because like my 2 guys at 4.5 to 1 and 12 to 1, like whoever wins that, like the only guy. I mean, the other 2 quarters are bad. Like Gomez versus Isner. That's
an ugly quarterfinal.
I mean, it's a 250, so I get it's a 250 after a slam. So like I get it. There's not a lot of top guys playing. Like it's not. Honestly, it's like. It's pretty bad though. I mean, this version of Isner is not great. And then the other one's okay. I think it's Wu and Manarino. So that's actually better. But that's the top half one. Like the winner of Isner or Gomez plays the winner of Wolf Tiafoe, which just sets up beautifully. Like
it does.
I couldn't ask for anything better. And then
Tiafoe, I have to say he looked good against McDonald. I know it's McDonald who doesn't have the weaponry to beat top players, but I don't know. He was striking the ball incredibly well, and I mean that was a beatdown, So
yeah, that's a semi regret, I guess. I have not betting Tiafoe there because I thought the matchup favored Tiafoe. I just didn't love it. Like I think Tiafoe was giving like 4 games or something, and it seemed like a lot for a first match back off a long layoff. I thought
that's why I didn't hit it.
Yeah,
I was never going to hit McDonald there. But
no, and I was praying for a closer line. Like if it was -2, I probably would have like not worried about the layoff and just hit Tiafoe anyways because he's like it's such a good matchup. But but I really love that. I love that. I love both those guys there. I also have a bet that no unseeded player will make the final at -115, which I really love. If you look at it right now, there's 6 seeds in the quarterfinals. The only non-seeds are Wu, who's like a little scary, but he plays Manarino, and then the winner of Fritz and Yaron. So I don't think that's
Manarino likes these fast indoor courts. Like that's where he
this is a good. That's what I'm saying. I think Manarino will take out Wu. And if he doesn't, I think whoever wins. I mean, I think Fritz would be a favorite over Wu as well. So I feel like that's a really likely to hit on the top half. And then the guy on the bottom half who's unseeded is Gomez, and I think he has no chance of beating Tiafoe or Wolf.
I don't think he has a shot at beating Isner, but I mean we'll get into that more. But yeah, I mean,
so I'm loving that. I think that's probably like 75% likely or something to hit.
That's really good. Right Minus 115, you got that at?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was more like, it wasn't that I liked the seeded players. I just looked at the unseeded players and I was like, it was a pretty weak field. Who's going to get there?
Yeah.
And the unseeded player, like, they just didn't, like, I didn't see anybody. And it's not even like their ranking or like their skill level, but like, there weren't a lot of like high potential unseeded guys in Dallas. I didn't think. Like, it was like the field was like a lot of like guys like Jordan Thompson who are like true filler. Like, they're not, it's not a guy like a Fields who's like a young 18-year-old kid who, like, you see that kid in a draw, it's a little scarier, right? Like,
yeah, because he has firepower, he's hungry, you know, like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I see Jordan Thompson in a draw, and I'm like, not really, like, he could win a match, but I'm not really like worried about him making, you know, a final or a real run to win a tournament.
Right.
So,
right.
No,
I mean, I like my futures bets too. I mean, I had Carballes Baena at plus 2,800 to win. And I mean, that was just a bloodbath versus Zapata in that first match. You know, it was over 3 hours. It was really good. I actually think those two guys, like the way they played, the quality of that match were higher than some of the second round matches today. So
honestly, I feel like with that tournament at this point, it's like a random coin flip between every guy in that tournament. Like they could just pick straws out of the hat for the tournament. It would be the same thing. It would be a lot less effort for the guys involved. It was like grinding their asses off in the hot weather. They should just like pick out straws instead. Like, they should always take a vote and be like, "Are we cool with just picking straws up and dividing up the money and points that way?"
Yeah. But I mean, I actually like this: Sinner to win Montpellier, Coria to win Cordoba, and Tiafoe to win Dallas. So that was at 373 to 1. So
yeah. I mean, honestly, I was gonna do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I only saw Corey at like 20 to 1, and I didn't think that was good enough. But I'm kind of regretting that right now because Corey looks good.
He does look good. And he's in that bottom section of the draw. I mean, he does have to play the better Cerundolo, but Cerundolo has he said that he was hurt. So he had a little injury. I mean, he said he's good to play, but you know, being slightly injured against Corey is not the best, you know.
Well, then that draw has really opened up. Like,
it has because there's no Schwartzman. You know, so I think Corey.
Well, I guess there was no Schwartzman to begin with, really, right? Like, I mean,
that's true. Well, yeah. I mean, that probably like. I guess that's a good transition into dumbest bets because that was probably the dumbest bet I had of the week to bet Schwartzman. I mean, he was a plus 130. So Brad was like, "That's a stay away. That's a stay away. Don't even touch that." And I'm like, it's minus 130 against the bad Cerundolo. It's not even the good Cerundolo. It's the bad Cerundolo. And I'm like, I got to hit that. I was expecting to see minus 200 when I saw that, you know, because like, I mean, the bad
I got more scared. I told you I got more scared when I saw it was minus 135. It felt like a trap line. And I was like, I am staying far away.
I mean, the bad Cerundolo struggled against Andujar in the first set. Andujar had set points in that match. Yeah. I mean, that's 35 Andujar who looks fat. You know, like, I mean, okay. So he got through that because of a retirement. And then, like, you know, I mean, I guess this has shown how bad Schwartzman has gotten. Like, it's really
I think he's done. I actually, really bad. I mean, I actually think now, and I'd have to look at how the points how the points play out because
well, he's gonna lose a lot of points because he made, I think, he win this event or he made the final last year.
He had a good run here. He already is gonna fall behind the other Cerundolo now, so I think he's gonna be out of the top 30. Oof. So he's gonna start having tougher draws. Ouch. He's not gonna get seeds anymore. So I mean, look, this happened to David Ferrer. Like Ferrer went from like top 10 to 20s to 100 in 2 years. Like it was just boom, boom, boom to done to retire the next year. So and this could you know, it feels the same way where there's just no who do we think Schwartzman can beat right now on the ATP tour?
Because he doesn't hold serve. It was kind of like me playing you today. I mean, we usually have close matches, but I just couldn't hold serve today.
I think you had one hold of serve the entire 2 sets.
It was 1 and 4. I did break you a few times, but that's Schwartzman. He's going to break you a few times, but is he going to hold serve? No.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it was bad. I mean, and then also the compete level went away. You know, he lost the first set 7-6, and then he just went away in the second. That's usually what you kind of give kudos to Schwartzman for, is that compete level where he can kind of stay in that second set and not go away mentally. Right?
Yeah, I didn't see the match, so I don't know if he just played terrible in the second set or if he did go away mentally. It's a bad looking scoreline. What?
He pretty much went away.
Yeah, okay. It's I mean, like I say, we said it a couple times. He could be out of the top 100 by the end of the year, I think. I mean,
could be. Yeah, that's the way it's trending.
Yeah, it's because actually, if you get a bye in the first round and then you lose, you don't get second round points. You only get first round points.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
It's ugly. It's ugly for him. As far as some other dumb bets, I bet Ymer and Ruusuvuori over 2.5 sets at plus 130. I mean, these guys, it's just you don't know what you're gonna get. You know,
that's why I ended up staying away. And I think actually Klaus Fulgert on Twitter convinced me to stay away from this.
That's kudos on Klaus. I know Klaus. I know you have tremendous respect for these markets, and what you're right about, and I feel like you kind of keep us more disciplined with our betting, and we appreciate that.
For sure.
In this instance, I didn't really listen to, I probably should have had your kind of voice in the back of my mind and stayed away here, especially since both were coming from Davis Cup, and this is not kind of a similar match than they've played in the past where they've gone 3 sets the last couple meetings. So it's probably
and the only thing really supporting a 3-setter here was the head-to-head. Like a lot of other stuff here, again, first match of a tournament coming off of Davis Cup, a lot of other things screamed it just screamed a lot of variables, which to me always makes me scared of the over 2.5 sets.
Right.
Because again, we've talked about this before, even if both guys are playing completely even, it's a coin flip, right? Because you need the guy who loses the first set to win the second. So that's never a minus money thing. It's always
plus money, but you need both guys to be there mentally, right?
Well, that's my point. It's so at best it's a coin flip, and then you're going from a coin flip to plus 130. I think both guys being there mentally and physically playing well and being healthy and everything, 100 to 130 is not that huge of a spread. It's you need to, in order for me to bet the over 2.5 sets, I need to feel really good about how both guys are playing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, that was one of my dumber bets of the week for sure. Yeah, I mean, another. So, did you want to add any dumb bets that you made?
I mean, so I had 2 really dumb bets. The first one was I bet Zizou Bergs over Hong at Davis Cup on Sunday night.
Okay. Yeah.
Right after our Saturday night, right after our podcast. That was terrible. And you told me not to do it, and I did it anyways. And that was just horrible. Like, it was just
that was
as soon as I turned on the match and started streaming, I was like, why did I do this? Like the crowd was behind Hong. Hong was going nuts every point. He was yelling like a college player. Like,
yeah, and Korea, they won they came back from 2-0.
Yeah, and they were and the crowd was going nuts. Like, it was I felt like I was so mad at myself. Because as soon as I turned it on, I was like
and I watched
actually,
that.
Like, looked to try to cash out for like $5 off 15, like a third of a unit. So I was like, this is so bad. Like,
yeah, it's pretty bad. So Bergs is obviously not the most mentally tough challenger player there is. I mean, he's probably one of the more talented guys out there that are grinding away, but
that's what made me bet him, because I was like, oh, it's only -3.5. He's the better player. Like, if you take both players, he's the better player. But there were just so many factors against him. It was such a
so I don't know if you saw that match, but I watched it after.
I did watch the match. I did watch it. It was just
Hong just D'd up, right? That was his strategy, right?
Yeah, he D'd up, but he was like also like really, his compete level was really high that match.
His compete level was high.
Not that it's surprising, but like, I mean, he outcompeted Bergs. Like,
Bergs was just demoralized by how many balls were coming back in the court.
Yeah, but he also wasn't like coming in, putting stuff away. Like, I mean, Bergs is good enough to win that match. He just mentally was, frustrated, and then that led to bad stuff. Yeah, so that was by far my dumbest bet. Another dumb bet I had was
I bet Hong on the money line there. I mean, you could see I'm half Korean, so I had to
you had to bet your boy?
My roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Svajda. Then my other dumb bet was I bet Svajda over Altmaier, and I should have just stayed away. Like, I know you took the other side of it. I thought in my mind it was like once I texted you in the middle of the first set, and I was like, why did I bet that? Like, that was just dumb. Like, there was no reason to touch that match. Like, Altmaier, Svajda's not good, and Altmaier's just so bad. He got broken by Isner today.
I know. I think that's Isner's first break of the year.
It is his first break in five matches
this season. We're in February.
Yeah, and he finally got a break. Yeah, and he only won. He won 1 point on Isner's serve in the first set. I get it. Isner's a good server, but 1 point in 5 games?
I know.
Like, that's not good.
And I mean, that goes into one of our kind of painful bets. It's like I think we both had Altmaier, but +2.5. Did you bet the over there?
I just bet the over. I just bet the over 26. Because my reasoning was like, I didn't think that Altmaier was good enough to straight set Isner, which I was right about. But I also didn't think that Isner could break anyone at this point.
I know. I mean,
apparently he can.
I was banking on 2 tie breaks and win the 2.5 there,
Yeah.
I'm like, if Altmaier can play 2 good tie breaks, he competes hard, right? If he can get a mini break in each, I just sprinkled a little on the money line too. It's a bet I don't regret, but it's like, it kind of shows Altmaier's lack of quality, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
that's what it shows. It's like
when he lost to Wawrinka at Davis Cup, and when Wawrinka was looking gassed, and Altmaier couldn't beat him. Like,
I know. So
I don't know.
The message is like, he competes hard, right? He'll keep scores close, but he's never going to get over the hump because he just doesn't have enough weapons, and he's kind of underpowered. Right.
I just think he's a scary guy to bet because he is exactly what you said. Like, if the other guy plays well, it's not looking good. But he's also scary the other way because, like, if the other guy plays bad, he's gonna win.
I know, because he's steady.
Because he'll hang in there. Like, he'll compete.
Hang in there. He did it against Tiafoe at the Australian.
Yeah, but he's not like he's not really an ATP Tour level player, right? He's a challenge level player. Especially in terms of like actual
he's ranked
skill.
In the 70s, I believe.
But I think I mean more in terms of like skill. Like, I think he gets there by just pure competing. He gets to like that like maybe bottom ATP-ish level by pure.
He has a solid backhand. His backhand is solid.
Solid, but not exceptional.
Yeah, he can't really hit winners and penetrate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he just competes. Like, he just competes and gets balls in the court and.
Right.
Which, I mean, look, like that works in a lot of matches. Like, that's what's scary. Is like, it's just
true.
he's an annoying guy to bet.
Right.
Trying to think of any.
How about the Huesler-Rune match today?
I didn't touch that. I just thought that line was really well set. I thought it could go a few different ways. Like I thought Huesler was a really live dog in that match, and he was, right. The first set was really close.
He was a live dog.
But at the same time, like, I mean, you had him at 3.5. I didn't even see that good of a line. I was seeing maybe you hit. I don't know if you hit that at a different time than I did. I was seeing like between 2 and 3. Like if I was getting
4, I got 3.5 at -105.
Yeah, which is amazing. Like that, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't seeing. If I saw that line, I probably would have hit it. But I was seeing like 2.5. So I was like, oof. But I also, like I said, I thought that he had a good chance. I thought I just could have seen that match going so many different ways. Like,
well, it's a bet I'm pissed I didn't hate it, but it's not a bet I regret because Rune could have easily lost that first set. He had 2 break points at 5-all. I think Huesler was up mini breaks at multiple points in the first set tiebreak. So he could have easily won that. And, obviously there's a little bit of a letdown in the second set. He was down 4-love. Even if he gets that to 6-4, I hit the 3.5. So I think there is, there was an element of luck that I didn't hit there. But it's not one that I really regret.
No, I don't think you should regret it. I think it was I think it was a fine bet.
It's a good bet. Plus 270 money line. So
yeah.
Huesler missed a forehand at break point at 5-all by like 2 inches. If that hits the line, and serves it out 7-5, you basically hit the 3.5 right there, and then you're kind of just hoping he pulls out another set.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, that's that. All right. Let's switch over to pain. Let's get this.
You probably have more pure pain than I do this week.
All right, let's start with you then. What was your pain?
I mean, so one painful one was Cecchinato tapping out today against Coria down 3-1 in the second set.
That sucks.
Because I also had Coria in a parlay, and I won the parlay. My other 2 legs hit, but it just sucks to lose a leg when you obviously had it, right? He was up a set and a break, and
Cecchinato, did he even call the trainer?
He had called the trainer at the end of the first set.
Okay, all right.
And then I think he couldn't go on after that.
Yeah, that was painful for me too, because like I saw that line. I think it was like it started at -140 or something. So I hammered Corey. I put 3 units on it, and I was like, Cecchinato, he barely won a match. I mean,
yeah. He also matches up really, like, he's like kind of a slightly worse version of Coria. Like,
well, also that he has a one-handed backhand, right?
Yeah.
So Coria plays with quite a bit of spin.
He does. He's one of the better
so hitting it high to that backhand on like a very slow clay court, and it's not, it doesn't really fit well. And plus, this is not the Cecchinato that beat Djokovic, at the French Open.
No, Cecchinato not playing well right now. So. He did beat Bash 2-2 though, on a hard court.
Is that really saying much?
Bash is playing well this week, man.
He lost today pretty easily. I mean, against Barrere.
Yeah, but he won. He won a match. He beat somebody decent too.
All right. He won a match. Okay. I was looking
at Leshen. He beat Leshen.
Yeah,
we're not going to give him credit for that. Come on.
That's true.
If I was looking at the Bashman. We need to credit the Bashman when he wins.
Bash has 5 titles, including 3 500s.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. I couldn't believe it.
He's actually had a decent. Yeah, I mean, he was in the top 20 for a while. For a little while. Like,
I know he's had a decent career.
As much fun as we make of him, like he actually for a while he was doing. And I think he had some like personal life trouble, didn't he? Didn't he get in trouble for kind of like
something
domestic violence or something? I thought it was something pretty serious.
Like, yeah, he's had some off the court issues too.
But. Yeah, so and that maybe will be weighing on him too, all things considered.
That's true.
Yeah. The other pure pain I had was Blankino versus Fuksovits. I think did you have this as well, Manny?
I had the money line
on Blankenau. Okay,
yeah.
So Blankenau was getting beaten solidly, but hanging in there, and it was looking like a pure push because I had him +4. And he was down 6-4, 5-4. Who's concerned for the match? Blankenau heroically saved 3 match points, broke back for 5-all, yep. Won the second set 7-5. And then proceeded to get bagelled in the third.
That's painful. That's really bad. I had him on the money line, so it would have been more painful if it was like a 7-6 third or something, where he had match points and lost it. But like, that's bad. It's horrible.
Yeah. Like once he won, I just needed 2. I just needed like any competition at all. Like to get bagelled out by Vucevic is just pure pain.
Yeah.
This wasn't painful in terms of being unlucky, but like, I can't believe Vavasori got whipped by Pella.
Yeah, so this is the main source of my pain this week, but yeah, this.
What was it, like 2-2 or something? Got whipped, like it was bad.
It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah, it was horrible. So yeah, I mean that's a good transition to my pain. So my pain comes in the form of a parlay. I think I have my parlays here. So it was yeah. So yeah. Wait. Yeah, so it was 60-1, this parlay. I had Krajinovic versus Karatsev over 20.5. That went 3 sets. So I hit that. That was first thing in the morning. Huesler money line versus Van Ash. That went 3 sets, but Huesler pulled it out. He was the better player. Coria money line versus Montero. He lost the first set in a bloodbath first set.
It was like 90 minutes. It was insane.
It was just ridiculous. But Montero then was feeling it physically, and Coria was solid. That gives me confidence for my future pick, actually. But he won the second and third comfortably, so that was a good money line pick. Barrios Vera +3.5 versus Galan. So I think you had this as well, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I actually had Vera. I had Vera on the money line there.
Okay, that's a great pick, and you got that plus money, obviously.
Oh, +140 or something. It actually wasn't that amazing. The line really actually started moving. I don't know what your +3.5, what your odds were there, but like there was a lot of movement on a lot of these lines in Cordoba. Have had a lot of movement this week. It's been kind of interesting.
Yeah. But Galan he was horrible against Shardy, as we all know, at the Australian Open, and I don't think he's played since then, right? So I thought that was a good pick. Yeah. And then Wu money line versus Mo. That went 3 sets, just because Mo plays decent defense, but just Wu just has so much more firepower, and like he's just a better player, right? So, and then Delbonis Tabio 20.5. That was an incredible match. That was
I saw that Delbonis. I actually had the money line there for Delbonis, so that was I had a few lucky bets this week. That was one of them where Delbonis, like, I think he saved a couple match points, didn't he? Like it was like 3 or 4. Like
he did.
That was an amazing match. And
it was
Delbonis, didn't
Tabio was serving for the
match.
Tabio was serving, and I think he had Delbonis saved like 3 match points, broke back, and then won it in a tiebreak.
And he saved another match point in the tiebreak, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It was insane. But that was in the third set, so that easily hit the over 20.5. And then everything was riding on this Vavasori Peya to hit a 60-1 parlay. And this fucking guy laid an egg. He was so bad. This guy, Pela, has not played in what?
He's played like a couple matches. He played one match in like Montevideo in November, in a year and a half. And he played one match in Montevideo in November. And then he played the Australian Open. He lost to Cerundolo in straights. Like, yeah.
And Vavasori was playing, I mean, I thought decent tennis. He beat Ugo Carbelli in a tight 3-set match. I mean, he's playing a lot of challengers. I mean, I thought that, I mean, 2-2, really? Like, can we make it 5-5? You know? Like,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
It was just so bad. And Pela, like, he exposed Vavasori's like clear weakness. Like, his backhand is just so bad. You know, like, he made so many backhand errors in that match, and it was just, I mean, maybe it would have been more painful if it was like 6-6 or, you know, a tight 3-setter, but like, you know, to have a 60-1 parlay end on that leg was just,
that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal.
It was just terrible. And then Fields, so I had an underdog parlay yesterday. It was Fields against Bautista Agut and Kachin versus Delian. And I actually thought Kachin money line, like at plus money, playing at home versus Delian, who actually has been quite good recently. Like, he has solid strokes on both wings. I know Tidbits Tennis is quite high on him. I was looking on his podcast, and he actually likes him a lot. He actually thought that, like, he likes Delian, but he thought Kachin at plus money was the play here. So I kind of tailed him on that. But just Delian, just like, he didn't get broken the entire match, only faced 2 break points. And he was just hitting bigger on both wings. And Kachin's backhand is also very weak. So it was an easy 3-4 win. So,
yeah, I think I hit a Delian bet in this tournament. Oh, I hit Delian over Pella today, actually.
Today, right?
To win.
Yeah.
He was plus money to winning straights.
Really?
Yeah, he was plus 115 to winning straights. And I still don't believe in Pella yet. Like, everything you told me, or Pella, everything you told me is just like he wins when his opponent sucks.
That's what it seems like. But I mean, he did play well, and he was a top 30 player. So I was like, oh, I don't know. You know, like, that was a match I kind of stayed away from. I think we were discussing it this morning, right? And I kind of would lean -3.5 Paya or 2 sets to love Paya, but I wasn't like confident enough to hit it.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I think hitting Delian in a parlay was kind of the way to go there, but
I did that as well. I also put day. I did the day. We talked about this. I put the day in money line in my parlay, just because I was like, you know, it was a tough match because the line was actually, I thought, decently well set. I thought there was a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit, like, I just didn't see Paya winning that match, especially because, like, that would have required him to win back-to-back matches, which is something he hadn't done. That's something he hadn't done in 2 years. So
yeah. But this was a good parlay win. Baez -4.5 versus Darderi. Tiafoe money line against McDonald, and Shapovalov Wu versus 22.5. So
that got to 22.5. Didn't Wu win? It was 6.
Wait, was it 6-3, 7-6?
Maybe you're right. Maybe it did get there. Maybe it was right on the line, the edge, one way or the other. I'm sure you're right.
Oh, 7-6.
No, you're right. It was 6-4. You got there.
Yeah, so I got there. So that was a nice win. But it wasn't 60-1 odds like the one I lost with Vavasori.
Yeah.
So, because, you know, that a win like that kind of puts you in plus money for like, if you lose every bet for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're still plus. I know.
You're still plus.
I
mean, it's like,
I know.
So I actually think from a gambling standpoint, it's worth placing one of those like a couple times a week, just to, you know, in case
if you feel good about it, right? If you have a bunch of legs you feel good about, yeah. I mean, I'm not anti. I don't really like. I've seen a little bit of like anti parlay stuff. I think like parlays are bad. All parlays do is they just exacerbate the edge one way or the other, right? So if the house has the edge on you, which is true for 90% of bettors, obviously that's how they make money, then betting parlays is terrible. But if you are good enough to have the edge in the house, then parlays are great for you. So that's always the problem, right? Like, you never think your bet's a bad bet. Actually, sometimes I do. Maybe like 1 out of every 10, I'm like, that was a dumb bet. But most of the time, I think
it's always after the fact.
It's sometimes it's like during the fact. Like sometimes it's like you see 2 games and you're like, yeah, this is a bad bet. Like I've texted you out like 2-1 in the first set and been like, this is dumb. And at Berg's bet, I like literally turned on the match and I was like, this is dumb. Why did I do this after seeing 2 points?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I usually place one of these, like 1 or 2 of these a day, just kind of maybe you get a stroke of luck, but because it's so hard to really like build plus money from single bets, because like I feel
it's just slow, right? Like it's because you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. It's slow. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So
if you go back to my best bets, I had a couple other good bets too.
Sure.
Yeah, so if you go to the bottom, I had a couple good ones today. I had Sousa +4 over Garin. So Sousa actually won that match straight up in 2 sets. I had Vera on the money line against Bernabe. Vera came back and really dominated the end of that match. And I mean, Vera's playing well this week. I've made a lot of money or not a lot of money, but I've done well in Cordoba betting on certain guys. So I hit Vera twice. I've hit Coria twice. I've done well on him, and then
I'm very curious to see what you have to say about Vera versus Baez in the quarters.
Yeah,
we'll get into that in the next segment. But
we'll get to that in the next segment. I don't know. And then obviously my best bet of the actually another painful bet there was Thompson Manarino over 9.5 in the first set today. Thompson got broken 3 times in the first set. And like Manarino doesn't break that much. He's not that good on return. And like, but it's Thompson. Like I don't know. Like it's painful partially because like anytime you bet on a guy like Thompson, it's so brutal. Like
it is.
And then on top of that, they played a tiebreak in the second set. So the second set, Thompson woke up and went to the tiebreak.
Yeah.
But my best bet of the day was clearly was clearly Sloan plus -5.5 at plus money over Fridman. Fridman is struggling right now with his game a little bit.
A little bit.
Coming off of some sleep deprivation issues.
During the Australian
Open. That's what I've heard anecdotally.
You gave plus money on that? That's a
-5.5. Yeah,
okay. All right, 4.5 would be
4.5.
Okay, all right.
But I did the alternate spread of 5.5, and
the Knoll Amateur Challenge.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put that at 250. This is challenger level stuff.
Yeah, that can't be a 250. Put amateur in there. That's definitely not a 250. That's a typo for sure.
All right. And what's your details, your description going to be of that? I hope it's
Sloan gets off to fast
like
start.
It is for Altmaier.
Embarrassing start for Fridman, who does not hold serve until 3-1 down in the second set. And only holds serve once in 9 tries or 8. Okay. I think it was 9 tries. You held or 8
competes hard and doesn't pull a Bublik.
Yeah, true. You did. No. Fridman's compete level was stronger.
Okay.
Last week in the previous edition of the Sloan Fridman no amateur challenge, Fridman went away badly. He was up 3-1 in the first set and just completely fell apart. Barely won a point in the second set.
But before the Australian Open, I was winning those spreads, right?
A couple times, yeah. I mean, definitely Fridman's level definitely dropped since the Australian Open. Again, I've heard some rumors of sleep deprivation, so I don't think that's helping him. He probably needs to get on the court a little bit more. I don't know, get back in the flow of the games. So yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens there throughout the next few months.
Okay. All right. I gotta improve my game. Maybe I gotta watch a little bit less and actually play a little more. So. All right, that's enough on us. I'm gonna delete this from the spreadsheet. I don't want to see that anymore. Let's keep this spreadsheet to the professionals. All right. That was a good one though. All right, so I think that's a good transition to the quarterfinals tomorrow. So let's. We both love Cordoba so much, so we're gonna start with the other 2 first. We're gonna start with Montpellier. So We got Hallis against Fields. We got Sonego versus Sinner. Got Rune versus Barrere, and we got Coric versus Cressy. So let's head over to Bovada. Did you see these lines?
I saw one.
You saw one?
Okay. Yeah. But I think it's the most fun one to talk about for tomorrow. I think that one of these matches is popcorn tennis tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it's good because I actually saw these lines, so we can play a little bit of guess the lines here.
All right.
So let's see here. All right, so Hallis versus Fields. So what do you think? I mean, this is interesting.
So this is the line I looked at, and I think this is the popcorn tennis match tomorrow. In this tournament for sure. Just I think it's a fun matchup, right? Like Hallis is playing really well, and is he was a guy who was supposed to be talented for a long time. I remember him getting wild cards into French tournaments years ago. When his ranking was a lot lower. Now he's got an ATP ranking, so now he's in the main draw. But he's playing really well so far this whole season. And Fields is like the star of the tournament in my mind. I mean, again, I'm not that surprised because he's been playing well on the Challenger Tour. But I mean, I actually bet him both of the first two matches. Granted on spreads, but I bet him both times. But he's, I mean, a win over an established pro, in his home country in Gasquet, and then beating a top 30 player in RBA.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive for an 18-year-old. So this line is Fields +1. And the money line when I saw it last was -130 for Hallis and +110 for Fields. I have a strong opinion on this, Manny, but I want to get your thoughts. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say about this match and think about this match. All right,
so personally, I'm hammering Hallis here.
Yeah.
I think that this is where it ends for Fields. I mean, these are his two first ATP wins on the tour, right? And I am impressed with Hallis. I like what he's doing this year. I mean, he's probably given Djokovic his second toughest match after the Cordoba match. That 6-6 performance was probably his second toughest match all year long. Well, maybe the Tsitsipas final. We'll give you that, but and I like what he's doing. Like, his first round loss to Tsitsipas at the Australian Open wasn't. It's not that bad considering Tsitsipas was the second best player in that tournament, made the final, should have won the third set there, to force a fourth set. And I like where his game is heading. And I just think he's a slightly better version of Fields right now. And I just think that this is kind of where it ends. And the fact that they're basically, it's almost like a pick 'em. So I feel like you're kind of getting an edge if you pick Hallis here, but that's just where I see it. I mean, I got to see a little bit more from Fields before I'm kind of ready to bet him in this spot. But what are your thoughts?
I'm 100% behind you. Like, I agree with everything you said. I was interested to hear your thoughts, but my only question here is, like, I like Hallis so much that. What are your thoughts on betting? He's +185, I think, to winning straights. What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't go that far just because Fields actually has firepower. I think if the match gets close, I think Hallis has a mental edge in this matchup. But I mean, that being said, Fields has been impressive mentally this tournament, but it's a quarterfinal. Backing up 2 wins is tough. What are you getting at plus money there?
+190.
I might put half a unit on it. I don't think I would put a full unit on it. That's
the other option I was looking at is laying an extra game and playing Hallis -2 at +110.
I like that better.
Yeah.
I like that better than the straight sets.
Yeah.
Because I could see one of these sets getting to a tiebreak. Both guys have decent serves. It's a fast court.
Wow, that line's moved closer even to Fields now. It's down to -125 for Hallis.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just hammer the money line, to be honest. I think that's the best play. Just the Hallis money line.
Yeah. And the only reason, like I said, I just feel so good about it. I feel like you might be leaving money on the table. But yeah. I can't even find now Hallis -2 anywhere. I'm looking at Hallis -1.5 is like, yeah, I mean it's good. So yeah, I gotta look at it, but it's
No, people are thinking about those two great wins from Fields, and they're just like, their stock is
well. Rising. So I'll go the other way now on that. Gasquet first tournament back, RBA first tournament back, right after a layoff. So
right. But Hallis was good against David Fekina, and he was plus money. It was plus 100 today.
Yeah, I mean, right. So that and Hallis is better on serve on a quicker court. Like, I don't know, Fields he's not a particularly amazing server yet. So yeah. So yeah, I was hitting Hallis. I'm gonna hit Hallis hard here.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, this may be a spot to just unit up on the money line. You're right, and just get your winnings by just uniting up.
Yeah,
rather than trying to go for
2 units on the money line.
Yeah,
I put 3.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean that is my bet of the day for tomorrow here for sure. Because I look at Sonego Sinner, it's probably
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. So what do you think the line is?
I'm guessing it's Sinner -4, maybe -4.5, probably -4.
It's 3.5, and then what about the money line?
Well, maybe a minus like 300, -250.
Yeah, -350 for Sinner. That's what I see.
The Sinner money line there is tempting. Only -350 in parlay. Like he does so well against guys outside the top 20. He wins like 90% of his matches against these lower ranked guys.
So I would not bet
Sonego does have like talent. Like
I would not bet the money line here, but where I'm betting is Sonego plus 3.5 here. Because
does so well against these guys outside the top 50. He just hammers these guys.
So Sonego is an excellent indoor player. He's actually proven that indoor hard court where there's no conditions to deal with has been his best surface. I think he won in Sofia last year or something, the 250 during the labor.
He did have a good run somewhere last year. Right? Yeah.
So, and plus, this is Sinner's first match of the event.
Yeah, it's
his first match since the Australian Open.
It's just Sinner's so good. And we've talked about this before. He's so good against guys who aren't in the top 20. Like, he just destroys these lower ranked guys. And like, I'm looking at something quickly right now. You might be able to convince me to go the other way on to hit.
I'm not betting Sonego on the money line. This is not like the Huesler match where I'm gonna sprinkle, on the spread and the money line, or the Wu Shapovalov, right? I'm not gonna do that. This is one that I'm just gonna solely bet the spread here. Just because I think it could be close. Like, and I think Sonego could steal a first set, but end up losing the match once Sinner gets his rhythm. And that's kind of where I see the game serve. Like I could easily see a 7-6, 6-4, or I could see Sonego steal the first set and then, Sinner get his rhythm and win the second and third pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, the more I hear you talk, the more I'm talking to just a pure stay away.
Okay.
It's because you're right. You're actually convincing me that Sonego actually does have a chance now. Nice pick of Sonego. Actually, awful pick. What is that? Like, he does not look like a tennis player in that pick.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But yeah, I don't. What is the tennis tonic pick is Sinner in 2 sets, Manny. Tennis tonic is not backing you there.
They're not, but I can give reasoning to refute that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm probably yeah, I don't know. Like
if Sinner played against Vucevic and looked good, right, and had a match under his belt, 100% with you. I wouldn't even think about going towards Sonego. But the fact that this is his first match, it's such a weird tournament for him where his first match is on Friday.
I know.
You know?
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Where Sonego has played 2 matches and actually looked quite impressive against Krajinovic today. To be honest. He looked good.
Yeah.
I know Krajnovic's compete level is not great when he's facing adversity, but I mean, that's a decent win.
Yeah. I mean, Sinner does. I don't know. You're starting to convince me, man. You're starting to give me some pretty. I might have to reconsider. I don't think this is ever Sinner anymore. Like, it's first match back, this is never Sinner. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's never Sinner.
I mean, if it would, I wish it was 4.5 or 4, and I'd absolutely hammer it.
I think 3.5 is not that much. Like, if Sinner, you kind of need, you probably need Sonego to take a set.
I just see it, it's really fast courts. He hasn't played since Australia. Sonego already has 2 matches under his belt. He knows these conditions. He likes these conditions.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think Sinner pulls it out, but it's close. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Sinner could drop a set. I guess.
It's become a popcorn match.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. All right.
Thoughts, Klaus? Thoughts, tidbits? We were interested to hear what you have to say on Twitter.
I'm on the record. I'm staying away. I'm not betting that.
Okay. Interesting. Good. Next one, Rune versus Barrere.
This is probably Rune minus like 4 or something. I just don't think like books are going to be maybe 3.5 because it's indoor. Maybe 3. Maybe it's only 3. Somewhere between 3 and 4.
It's 4.
It's 4. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like 4 is so much. Like 4. The more I look at it, like 4 is a big spread in tennis, man. Like it doesn't sound like it because it's only 4
especially
and 4.
Especially on a fast court.
Yeah, but like you lose 1 set and you're basically dead at 4. So
that's why I'm playing this minus 1.5 sets. That's how I'm playing this match. If Rune can beat Husler in straight sets, he can beat Barrere in straight sets.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Rune has been, really, really good. Barrere.
I mean, straight sets, you're getting, I think, minus 130. Yeah, minus 135, which is not great, but he's just better. He's just better than Barrere.
He is. Got to think about this. This is. Yeah, I probably would follow you and just go with the straights. I'm trying to see how Barrere, how Rune's done. Rune doesn't seem like he's lost. I mean, Rune's played so well lately. He did beat Hughes, but Huser could have taken a set, right? Like, but Huser's better than Barrere, I think.
He is. Definitely
right?
is.
Like, but
Absolutely.
Barrere's at home. It's a big match for Barrere. He's in the quarters, like of a 250. Like for him,
Yeah,
it's a
but it's
big
his first
deal.
quarters ever in an ATP event.
Yeah.
I just think Rune's game is just too big and just like, like what is Barrera gonna attack to
I
kind of
probably
replace?
swallow it's I don't, at minus 130, I don't think it's amazing, but I'd probably just take the Rune minus the I'll probably just tail you there and take Rune minus the set and a half.
Okay. All right. And then Corish Cressy.
I suck at betting. I suck at understanding what Cressy lines are gonna be. I suck at understanding Cressy as a player in general. I'm guessing this is Corch minus 2. Just because he's got the higher ATP ranking.
My app froze on me.
It's Corch minus 3.
Corch minus 3, and it's Corch minus 260, Cressy plus 190. I'm fading Corch hard. I mean,
he did beat Rinderknecht today.
He did, but Rinderknecht. So Rinderknecht plays from the baseline, but he couldn't make any progression from the baseline. At least Cressy is going to put pressure on him, and I don't know how Corch is going to deal with that.
I'm looking at what the head-to-head is here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They've never played.
Never played. Oh, unfortunate.
See, Cressy's somebody I'm fading all year, but like I actually think that he could get into Corch's head here.
I like this spot. I'm betting Cressy plus 2.5 at even money, because I can easily see 2 tie breaks here. So that's hedging against Cressy losing in 2 tie breaks.
Yeah,
I could see Cressy, steal a set. So
but at 2.5, you could actually steal a set and miss the bet. You could end up like a 6-3, like a 6-3 set.
I don't really see Corch breaking him that easily.
He's gonna break him once, right? I'm not saying it's a bad bet. I'm just talking.
I wasn't impressed with Corch against Rinderknecht today. I was not. I kind of overestimated Rinderknecht, and underestimated Corch.
I mean, Cressy beat Rusevori pretty good today.
He did. These are his favorite courts. Like he loves these like fast indoor hard courts.
Well, yeah, they suit his game really well, right? Like he's,
they do.
And
I don't think they necessarily suit Corch very well.
Yeah.
So
you're talking. This is never Corch.
Yeah.
If anything, I might hit Cressy. There's a good chance I just stick with Rune and then Hallis. I feel really good about Hallis. These other matches I don't feel that great about.
Okay.
I think gun to my head, I agree with you. If like gun to my head, it's just a matter of like, do I want to lay the juice or not? I'll probably lay it on Rune with the 2 sets. I like what you're saying there. And I'll probably avoid it on the Corch, Cressy, and the Senego Sinner.
I'm actually thinking of just maybe sprinkling half a unit on Cressy money line as well.
The money line there is like plus 200. I kind of like it. Actually,
just place the money line.
I don't. I mean, I probably will. I probably will do that. I like
plus 190. I see.
I like that. I like that. I'll probably do that.
Okay.
Because I could definitely see Cressy getting into Corch's head here. He's just such a weird. It's anytime you play a serve and volley, it's just like a weird matchup, right?
Yeah, because Rinderknecht is an aggressive baseliner, I guess, but he doesn't approach the net. He doesn't really serve and volley, right?
No. Cressy's completely different than anybody else on the tour right now. I mean, he is a actual serve and volley guy, like
a true serve and volley guy who likes these courts.
Yeah,
well against kind of a guy that's similar to him, like Coric and Rusev Warrior. Coric is probably on a slightly higher level, but like they're quite similar.
They're pretty similar styles, players, yeah.
Right? So we kind of have a sample size in how he deals with that. So if you're getting plus 200 on that, I would hit that on these courts.
Plus 190, I'll probably. You're talking me into it.
Okay.
I'm still staying away from Sinner Sonego though.
Okay.
No Sinner.
Not hitting that one. All right.
No Sinner.
It's a cardinal sin to bet against Sinner when he's facing a guy who's out of the top 40.
Yeah, I mean that is my rule with Sinner. Is like he's just. But I agree with you. It's not a good spot for Sinner. Plus, I have a futures bet on Sinner, so to win the tournament. So I don't really like.
Fair.
I don't want to bet against it, but it's not. I think it's a tough spot for Sinner. Like I think like
your futures, yeah.
It's a dangerous spot. Like this is actually. I mean, obviously, Rune's the scariest guy here for Sinner, but it's the most dangerous. Like this is more dangerous, and I guess House is dangerous too. Honestly, like yeah. Everybody here is kind of dangerous. This is a pretty decent draw and a pretty good set of guys in the quarters.
Mm-hmm. It is intriguing quarterfinal matches for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next event. We'll save. Obviously, we're saving Cordoba for last. We're gonna go to Dallas. So JJ Wolf against Francis Tiafoe is the first match. John Isner, Emilio Gomez, the second match, Fritz Giron, the third match, and Yubing Wu and Monterino. Have you looked at any of these lines?
I have not. I haven't seen anything here.
I actually have not either. So why
don't I'll let you play Guess the Lines then, because I played it for Montpellier.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty. So pull it up. Dallas. All the lines are up. So Wolf and Tiafoe, what do you think?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Tiafoe probably minus 225 on the money line, and I would say 2.5 game favorite.
You hit it dead.
Really?
To the number, yeah.
Holy hell. Okay. All right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I should probably stay away. If I'm that close. I probably lean Tiafoe minus 2.5 though, if I'm gonna bet this match though. I just think he's just a better tennis player than Wolf.
Yeah, I think this is a spot to hit Tiafoe pretty hard. Like
really,
I think he's just a slightly I think he's just a better version of Wolf, right? Like And I think Tiafoe can break Wolf. Wolf is not he's got a good serve, but he's not.
If he has that slice serve, it's not and
he's not holding serve every time.
Yeah.
I don't you know what I mean? So.
Well, he struggled in the second set against Radu Alba.
That was a lucky bet. I bet him 2-0 and I got really lucky to win.
Yeah.
Really lucky.
Yeah. I know.
Alba was the better play actually throughout the match.
And Alba struggled against Kral.
Yeah, no, Alba. I mean, Wolf had to save 9 of 10 break points against Alba. So, yeah, I like Tiafoe here laying the 2.5.
Okay.
The only concern here is will Tiafoe be so excited about his
celebrity NBA.
Yeah, man, he got selected. He got admitted into the celebrity basketball game. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
He's not gonna play Dubai or Acapulco because of the celebrity basketball game. That's not a very
dude. That's a big deal, man. The NBA celebrity game. That's a big deal. Like I think I watched that one time. It's on Friday night, 7 p.m.
One time
I never even know it's on. They do it 7 p.m. and I'm like, oh, the celebrity game happened again.
That's my point. So he's not going to play like an ATP 500 and try to build up points and get his ranking into the top 10 because he's playing this fucking game.
Manny, you don't understand. Celebrity. Like, if you're Francis Tiafoe, when you to be a celebrity anything, you're like a non-top 10 tennis player. And think of the business connections. He gets to go hang out with like Chris Rock, and like there'll be all sorts of interesting people in that game. There'll probably be some 12-year-old kid playing, like some music stars. There will be girls in the stands for that game and girls on the court.
There will be. All right. Well, I hope it doesn't distract him for this, especially for laying the games.
But in all seriousness, I will lay the 2.5 games. I'll take Tiafoe and lay the 2.5 games. I think that
just win this tournament, and then you could think about that game. All right, the celebrity game. Let's focus on Dallas first. All right. All right. Next, Isner and Gomez.
So I have a complaint here about this tournament. Why is Wolf Tiafoe first up?
I agree.
Like that's by far the best of these quarters.
Well, in a way, I mean, that's true because Yibing Wu played yesterday, so that should be like Yibing Wu Monterino should be first. Fritz Giron should be second because I understand that those guys played night session today, right? So, but put them second, and then put Isner Gomez third, and then Wolf Tiafoe last. Right? That's how I would schedule it.
Yeah, like it's just. Yeah, I don't understand how Wolf Tiafoe is first. Like that's not like.
Yeah.
It's that's the best match of the night. That's the popcorn match here.
I agree.
Like I think Tiafoe will win, but that is the popcorn match, especially because Wolf is, especially they're both Americans. Wolf is a rising star. Like he's getting better.
He is. He's getting better. A lot better.
So yeah,
do you think that hurts Tiafoe, the fact that it's first match up, and the crowd is probably not going to be really into it, or you think he's kind of built a level of professionalism where it's not really?
It's a good question. There may not be girls in the stands for this at noon. Friday night there are girls in the stands. At noon there may not be girls in the stands.
But does that really make a difference in this matchup? I mean, if he was playing like a top 15 guy, I understand, but against Wolf?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he should. And again, the matchup, like Wolf shouldn't be a scary matchup for Tiafoe because like Wolf is going to try to do the same things Tiafoe does. Actually, Tiafoe's backhand is way better. That's the difference here. Tiafoe's backhand is way better.
Yeah.
Wolf's forehand actually might be better than Tiafoe, but Tiafoe's a better serve and a better backhand.
And better net game and better touch around,
And he's a better athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot of advantages, right? Like that's the thing. If you like line up the card here, like I'm not really sure what advantage Wolf has. Like I said, maybe the forehand.
That's
pretty close.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right,
trying to look.
Isner Gomez. I'd probably say Isner is a 2-game favorite or 2.5 game favorite. Is that what it is?
I'm looking.
And
I bet you it's 2.5.
2.5.
No, I'm saying I bet you it's 2.5, but it's not. It's 3. Isner -3. Pushing 3.5 because it's -3 at -130. So this could go to 3.5.
Do I really trust Emilio Gomez? That's the thing. See, if Isner was playing anyone else on this board, I would hammer them over Isner.
Oh yeah, I mean, ironically, right? These are the 7th and 8th best players left in the tournament.
Yes. Even if it was Giron playing Isner, I'd hammer Giron.
You would hammer Giron. You would hammer Giron because like Isner's not breaking anybody else in this field left except for Gomez.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, he tried to break Manarino, and he couldn't break him for 4 sets. So why would he break him in 2?
Right. I don't think he would break anyone in Cordoba either. Huh? Maybe.
A lot of those guys really don't have serves. Like,
okay,
I mean, but you're right. I mean, how is Inter going to win a rally against any of those guys? So,
right.
Yeah, like this is. I mean, yeah, it's just.
I think this is a stay away for me, just based on 3. I mean, like.
Yeah, I'm debating. So Isner, like, what is this line for 2 sets for Isner?
Yeah, that's probably the way to play it, I guess.
Well, I need to see what the line is. The line is minus 115 for straights. Yeah.
That's the only way to play it if you're playing this. I think. I don't think you could play 3 because when Isner is only broken once all season, I don't think you could trust him to break anyone. Right? At this point, it doesn't matter if it's Emilio Gomez or not. Like, I just don't trust him to break.
I mean, it's really lame, but in a parlay, would you play Isner the money line? But I don't even know if I trust Isner to win this match.
I think he wins because I don't see Gomez breaking him either. That's why that's why I like the 2 sets to love, because like his experience in the tiebreak.
Do you like the over 23? I don't know that I like that. I could see this being a 7-6-6-3 match.
Yeah. 6-3, 7-6, that's 22.
Yeah.
And then you get if Gomez starts serving, you get
which is kind of why I like Isner, because
what's the
but I like the straights better than I like the -3.
I like the straights too, because he's just so much he's so good in the tiebreak, right?
So good.
He's so experienced in the tiebreak. He's so tough in tiebreaks that it's just if Gomez gets there. I think I'm gonna play. Isner and straights.
I mean, that's the only thing I'm even looking at this point.
What's the money line though?
-350.
Oh no.
Yeah. The only potential play here is Isner and straights. And I'm looking at it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
That's
the more I look at it, the more I like Isner and straights.
I like it too. -115.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that.
It's just such a hold your nose because like Isner's not good at this point, but
you know, if you're just betting the tiebreak, just say that the match starts at 6-all and they're starting the tiebreak. Isner should be a -300 or 350 in the tiebreak.
Against Gomez, maybe. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, he has won. I mean, he does win a crazy amount of tiebreaks.
And it's against Gomez. Like if he was playing Fritz,
he'd be scared.
No, but yeah, it's Gomez.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're spot on by saying that it's the 7th and 8th best players on these on this board. So
yeah,
right. Fritz Giron. So I would say Fritz is probably a -350 favorite and a 3.5 game favorite.
So I would have agreed with you on the 3.5, and that's that is what it is. Although he's 3.5 at -135, and you take Jerome plus the 3.5, it's +105. So that might move to 4. If there's a little bit of movement there, it might go to 4.
Okay.
But the money line is -450 on Fritz.
And then Fritz also, I mean, he's struggling against Sox. I wouldn't trust playing the under here either. Ugh. I think I'm
guessing the under is the neutral 22.
Yeah.
Up 22.5. It's pretty close. I think the line's really well set here. Like
it is well set, but Giron, I mean, he's He doesn't really have much to hurt Fritz with.
I know.
Right?
But like, do you really want to lay any? Do you want to? I mean, do you really trust Fritz enough right now to lay anything? Like, he lost a set to Bash in Australia. He lost to Papirin. I mean, granted that's Australia, but like, he struggled with Sock. Like, there's nothing that makes me say.
And you're higher on Fritz than most.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing. I don't like the fact that he went 6-4 with Sock.
I think it's a stay away.
I think it's pretty. I think it's a pretty pure stay away too.
I don't like it. Yeah. It's a well set line. And then Wu and Monterino. This is interesting. I would say Monterino is like minus 160 or 150 and probably like a 1.5 game favorite.
Minus 120 only.
And
he's a 1 game favorite. You think this is a little bit too much love for Wu?
A little bit.
Like, if we look at it, right, he's beaten Chapo and he beat who else did he beat?
Michael Mo.
Right, he beat Mo in 3 sets.
But Monterino makes less errors than Chapo, right? He's gonna make Wu hit more balls, right?
Yeah.
These guys haven't played. I doubt they have.
No, I'd be really surprised if they have. Nope.
Yeah, they haven't.
How sad is this? The difference between a quarter and a semi and a 250 is only 38K.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be tight over it. I'd be nervous.
Manny, you're tight in the no amateur challenge because it might end up on the spreadsheet later.
I know. I do get tight for no reason. Even in like a tiebreak after the match, I was tight. I'd have to go with Monterino here. I think it's a little bit too much love for Wu. I don't know. I think Monterino is also tricky, where he's gonna kind of give balls that Wu is not accustomed to seeing, and he loves these fast indoor hard courts. Right?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think this is
a lefty serve out wide. I think I don't know.
This maybe when I do a little extra research into on the Wu side, to be honest. Like, I've seen that Wu's won a lot. I've seen a little bit of him, but I don't know. I might need to see a little more, do a little more research into Wu to see like how I feel about the matchup.
But Wu rarely wins matches comfortably. It's always an adventure. Like, even in the Chapo match, like, he got broken back in the second and went to a tiebreak. Like, it was tight. And last week he lost to Kovacevic in the final of a challenger, right? So this is a huge step up.
Yeah.
Going 3 sets against Michael Mo when Michael Mo has no offense. That's not the best. That's not the best. So if you're getting minus 120 on Monterino, I think you got to hit that.
I think so.
So, yeah, I'm gonna look into it a little more, but I mean, this match is until like late tomorrow night, so
yeah, got a little bit of time.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly do Cordoba.
The best tournament. This has been an amazing tournament. Well, and we have some interesting quarterfinals.
We sure do. So João Souza against Ramos Vinolas. That's the first one. Coria Cerundolo, the good Cerundolo. Baez, Barrios Vera, and the the
bad Cerundolo against Delian.
All right, so Souza and Ramos Vinolas
in the European Championship here, by the way, because the other 6 players are South American. So the winner of this wins the European segment of Cordoba.
What do you think the line is? These books don't give any love to João Souza.
I'm gonna guess it's so I was gonna say it's Vinolas minus 2.5, but now I'm guessing it's probably 4 because you just made the comment out the book's not giving any love.
It's 3.5.
Yeah, that's really but like I don't know. I might hit Sousa money line. Like I don't think the games matter here that much.
I don't think they do either. And Ramos Vinolas played a pretty bad second set against Dusan Lajovic today.
Yeah.
So he won the match and kind of was the more steady player in the third, but like he didn't impress me. And Sousa,
what is it? What money line do you get on Sousa? Like plus 200 or something?
Plus 205. But also he's played a lot of tennis. He played that crazy 3-setter in the first match against Echeverry. And then he played 2 tight sets today. So that's a lot of tennis. But I would play the plus 3.5 or plus 4.
What's the line for over 2.5 sets here? Is it better than plus 150?
Plus 145.
Probably not good enough for me. What's the over under on the games? The standard 22, I'm guessing. Maybe a touch higher, maybe 22.5.
Plus 21.5.
I should stay away, but I'm tempted to do. What is Sousa to win a set?
Minus 135. That's probably
interesting.
Too. That's enticing.
What?
That's enticing to me too.
Yeah.
Because he's going to compete even if he loses the first set. He's going to dig.
Well, that's why I like the 3 set. These are 2 pure battlers.
Yeah, they are.
Like these are 2 pure grinders, pure battlers. Vinolas is the better player. Sousa just doesn't have that much weaponry. This is a great match to watch, by the way.
It is.
I don't know how much more I'm actually
Sousa
get
was
to watch.
overmatched on clay at the Davis Cup when he played Machak and Lechka, but these guys like Echeverry and who did he play today again? Oh, Garin.
Yeah.
I feel like he just outcompeted those guys in a way.
Yeah, but ARV is a competitor.
Yeah, that's true. You're not really going to outcompete him. No.
I might stay away. If I could get Sousa to win a set at plus money, I would, but minus 135 is not amazing there. Honestly, like all the Sousa lines are enticing because they're all plus money, but ARV is the better player.
Just put half a unit on the money line at plus 200.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of fun Sousa lines here. Like,
yeah,
this probably is like a half a unit or a quarter unit match, like just for funsies, right? Like,
yeah, it's pretty well. I mean, it's well set. I think they're slightly favoring Ramos Vinolas too much, but
I agree in like a theoretical world. It just sucks. I think this is a match where the games don't matter.
Yeah.
And I don't think the set line valuation is terrible. I think game line valuation is a game off, but like I don't think it matters. Like, because I think there's gonna be a lot of breaks. I think I would not be surprised at all to see a 6-2 set, which completely destroys your games. Like either way, right? And not a 6-2 set because both guys don't compete. It's a 6-2 set because like every game's gonna go to deuce.
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolute war. I mean,
like actually, what I would love to play here is the over on time. Nobody will have it because it's not a big enough match, but the over on the clock would be great to play here.
Yeah, over 2 hours, 15 minutes. What would you play? The over?
Oh yeah. I mean, because this could be a straight setter and go 2 hours, 15 minutes.
That's true. Very true.
Like, yeah.
All right, I'm very interested in the next one. Coria Cerundolo.
I like. So I think I'm gonna guess the line here is like Cerundolo -1.5 and like -150 on the money line. I'm way off.
It's basically a pick'em.
I was hoping it would be that way, and then I wanted to bet Coria. But
see, I'm still betting Coria in this instance. So Cerundolo actually said that he was kind of injured here.
Yeah, and that's why it's a pick'em.
Yeah, I'm not physically. I'm okay. I'm okay to play Coria next.
That's not good.
You got to be 100% healthy. I mean,
that's not good. I mean, Coria is a beast.
He is.
Like, in terms of like his physicality, and like he's gonna he'll make you grind.
It looks like that line has gone from plus money to basically a pick'em. So because like when this guy 51 minutes ago, he got him at plus 115.
So I hit the opening line, but the money's just moved so much on it, which makes sense. I'd still probably hit Corey. I think you're right.
Me too. I'm gonna hit it right now.
And I might even. I'm probably gonna hit it tonight before it goes away.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's gonna be too many bettors betting at 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess the Europeans are waking up, so that could be the problem.
I'm hitting it right now as we speak because I don't want that line to move anymore. I feel like it is. But make sure you play it on play the money line and play it on a book, which.
Oh, I got to get on a different book. You're right. Do not do it on Bovada because you want to cash out if Cerundolo retires. That's a good call.
Exactly.
That's a very good point.
So yeah, the book I'm using now, WinBet. If I bet it on the spread and Cerundolo retires, you get a push.
But that's all books. That's all books because they're like, we don't know what would have happened, yada yada yada.
Okay.
But you're right on the money line. Yeah, you get paid. Make sure
you bet it on a book, which gives you a win.
Which will pay you
retirement. Yep. Yeah. Baez and Barrios Vera. Interesting.
This is probably Bios minus like 3 or something because, and I don't know if that really necessarily makes sense, but like he just has such a better clay resume, and he did beat. I mean, he did win his first match 3 and 4, so it's probably Bias -3, -3.5, something like that.
-3.5. It's trending towards -3. I think there's some money coming on Vera, but yeah, -3.5.
Vera's been good, man. I mean, beating Bernabe that's a legit win on clay, and even Galan's not terrible. I mean, Galan is terrible, but the win's a win. And Bernabe's a good win.
It's a different animal playing Baez on clay. Like, Baez is a legitimate top 25 player on clay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind the -3.5 here for Baez. Like to me, if you want to pick the final here, it's Baez versus Coria. And if I could get that at plus like 200, 250, I'd hammer that.
Yeah.
Are you staying away?
I'd feel better. Like Barrios Vera's a pretty well. You know what? No, I'll lay the 3.5 because I think there could be a 6-2 set here.
There could be, yeah.
And I think that's what leads. I'll lay the games. I think I'll lay the 3.5 or the 3, whatever I have to lay, and take. If it goes to 4, no way. But I'll lay the. I think I'll lay anything below 4 on Baez.
4-4, you win.
Yeah. I'm not even thinking about 4-4. I'm thinking more about like it's because I think there could be a 6-2 set here for Baez somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. And then
the last one, Cerundolo Delian.
Ooh. Okay. So what do you think the line is?
Delian -2, just based on. I think the book will just do this one based on ATP ranking. And am I way off?
You're way off. You're way off.
Is it a pick'em? Do they like Cerundolo as the favorite here because he beat Schwartzman?
It's Cerundolo -2.
You got to hit Delian, right?
100%. That's where I was leaning here. You got to hit Delian. Delian is plus money right now at plus 115 money line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would hammer Hugo here. Like, he's also
Delian has been really good recently.
Well, right, and so he made the semi of Concepcion and lost to Coria, and he, now he's won, and then he qualified here and won. He beat Kachin and Pella
easily too.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we love. And Delian just beat Cerundolo in Concepcion last week, 3-3.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That's true. So how is Delian plus money against the guy he beat just 2 weeks ago?
So that's the scary thing, right? He's like, I need to do a little research here, make sure this isn't some sort of trap line.
Delian showed no sign of injury or anything.
I know. And then, unless they just love Cerundolo because he beat Schwartzman?
Maybe. So was Delian hurt after Wimbledon? Because he didn't.
Delian missed 6 months. Yeah.
And then now he's back to 100% health, and he's like grinding again.
Yeah.
It's a weird schedule. Usually you try to like ease back in, but
he did, right? He played a challenger. He just did really well.
Okay, so then I guess he feels good, right? And then he qualified for this event too.
Yeah.
He played tougher matches in qualifying than the major.
Yeah, I
think you got to hammer Delian here.
Yeah. Like I said, I got to do like 10 minutes of research and make sure there's nothing that tells me it's trap line here because it's just that just seems so out to lunch. Like would you agree Delian should be the favorite here?
I agree. Slight, not a big favorite, but a slight favorite.
Yeah, like a -150 or something.
Favorite, yeah. Especially, this is the key result here, and this is only a week ago or 2 weeks ago, right? The fact that he beat him 3-3, that's a
on the same surface,
right? Same surface, similar conditions, probably.
No.
Is that?
Cordoba, I don't know how hot it was in Concepcion. Like, it's hot. It's hot. It's another like 90+ degree day, I think. Let me check the Cordoba. We're gonna check Cordoba weather. Only because of tennis are you checking the weather in some random city. This isn't like Buenos Aires. Like, I'm checking the weather in Cordoba. Like, who else cares about the Cordoba weather?
Cordoba weather.
It is currently 65 degrees in Cordoba.
Okay.
High is going to be 94.
But that match is at night.
So it doesn't really go back. It's not at night.
Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock. So it's not. I don't think heat is really going to be that much of a factor.
I don't know what the humidity level's like.
Yeah.
Humidity right now is 81%.
Oof, Jesus, it's brutal.
But it's supposed to not be humid tomorrow night. It's supposed to dip the humidity.
Okay. The only thing I'm concerned about is I didn't see any injury. Delian was ripping the ball.
It's just so weird, right? Like,
it is weird.
And like, I get it. It's in Argentina and that matters, but there's been no crowd at this event.
Well, the crowd has showed up a little bit more at night, but it hasn't really made that big of a factor.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised to see that line too. I mean, that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little research too and probably hit Delian on the money line there.
I'm just kind of rooting for Cerundolo because I would love to see a Cerundolo final. That would be amazing.
It would also ruin our futures, though. Don't we both have Corey?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't end up taking Corey because I only got him. It was only 20-1. I didn't love it at 20-1. I wanted to see like 25-1 at least.
Yeah, it would be fun.
The funny guy in me would love to see a Cerundolo final. Like that would just be great. Like there'd be nothing better than a Cerundolo final.
I mean, Cerundolo, the better Cerundolo actually looked worse than the worst Cerundolo, if that makes any sense. Because I mean,
right.
He was struggling.
I'd love to see what that's like. I would love to see what that looks like. Cause like,
yeah,
I don't know. It would just be funny.
The new Williams sisters.
Yes, they're gonna dominate the tour. It's gonna be the Cerundolo brothers dominating the Argentinian section of the tour. They're gonna win Buenos. They're gonna go to the final Buenos Aires together, and that'll be it. Once they leave Argentina, they'll be crap.
Okay.
But like, at least for this next month, they'll be amazing.
Yeah, I think Alcaraz will have something to say about that next week.
Oh, no chance, dude. If he plays Juan Manuel, he has no chance. You know how fired up Juan Manuel is right now?
No chance. All right, so I think that does it for this segment of the podcast. So just
before we log off, we want to thank the viewers again. We set a record. We had over 30 views on our latest pod. So
amazing.
We're slowly we're getting up there.
We have 100 followers.
Yep. We definitely want to shout out to our 100th Twitter follower. What is his name? Terrell, thank you very much for following us, and hopefully you're watching the podcast.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we will do another pod on Saturday night. We will obviously recap our quarterfinal and semifinal bets, and we will preview the tournaments for next week. Rotterdam, we got Buenos Aires, and we got Delray Beach, and I think we're starting the 500s now, so we're getting a step up.
The 250 is so much better, man. Like this has been a great. This has
been a lot of fun. I have to say. Yeah. So that's good. End of next week, it will be a little bit tough for me to do one because I'm going away next weekend, but we will obviously, post everything on Twitter, and then we'll, recap everything the following week. So, yeah, I mean, everything in this part of the calendar leads up to Indian Wells, right? So,
right. I mean, well, Indian Wells and Miami, in my mind, like those two, that is like the purpose of this swing, if you will.
Yeah. Why is there any reason why they call it the Golden Swing in South America? I mean, I love it, but
because there's a lot of gold in those areas. That's why that's why the Americans came over, and that's why Columbus came over in 1492, bro.
I know tennis history, not actual history.
Well, that's not surprising looking at you.
Okay, all right, fair. All right, guys, have a good night. So we'll make sure we post this podcast on Spotify and YouTube by tomorrow. So thanks again for all the listeners out there. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Bye.